You have sat inside all winter, nice and warm and cozy. You gotten your little fingertippies dirty, digging in, planting some seeds. Now it's time to get dressed, get outside, let that sun hit your face and clean up your damn garden, because we are going to be out there soon. Right here on this Minisode of the Backyard Gardens podcast, we're going to talk about cleaning up. Mom.
To have a good harvest, one must plant good seeds and must also use the right kind of fertilizer. The carrots have grown large and firm. How good they will taste.
Welcome to the Backyard Gardens podcast, where we talk about all things gardening and give the information out for you to be successful in your garden, whether it's your first or your last. We are your hosts, Ben, the backyard gardener, and
Batavia, the front yard gardener.
One in the country,
one in the city.
Now get ready as we dig deep into this wonderful world of gardening as we learn to grow and grow for change.
Don't go stuffing all of this stuff under your porch. That's not cleaning, right?
Yes, Mom. I'm sorry. How'd you know that's what I was going to do?
I can see it in your face.
Yeah, so I think this is pretty important to get your year going, to get your season started. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like after this, I'm going to go out and clean up my garage, or my shed, excuse me. Mm-hmm. My 8x10 shed that has 3 square feet I can get to, because I've been working in my garden all winter because I have the greenhouse now, so nothing's gotten put up. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So I shall see your cluttered, barely can walk through shed and meet you with a garage that I cannot park my car into. I could probably get a bicycle in there, but that's it.
What's in there?
Yeah. I mean, I think I was I don't know what happened. I don't know why. I cleaned it up twice last year. I organized things twice. And then somehow, some way, I was working on something, and the weather caught me, and I just didn't want to do it anymore.
You have too much stuff. That's what your problem is.
This is not the episode to make me confront my demons. Yes, that is not this.
Well, right here on the Backyard Gardens podcast, we are going to do Batavia's demons. No, I think I wanted to move things to the other side of the garage because I wanted to carve out a workspace. So this is actually a really good time for that. It's also a really good time to get reacquainted with your garden, right? You know, because we've been walking past it, we've been looking outside, but we've not really been in it. What, your garden?
So look at it like you're enjoying this effort of cleaning.
Yeah, it's a good time to like inventory what you have, inventory what you're doing, and then take a glance. And I mean, you know, I imagine at this time you're starting to get a little bit less snow if you live in a snowy area. There's probably going to be some repairs that need to be done. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. This is also a really good time if you plan on doing something new, if you're expanding. You just don't want to start building stuff and everything else is really kind of, you know, placed all over. You know, you still have last year's tomato plants in place, Batavia. Yeah, Batavia. You know, like, so yeah, I mean, ideally, we wanted to, unless you're letting it decompose a bit, but this is a good time to pull up those dead plants if you have any in the garden. This is a time to identify, this is a good space for that extra bed or the container I want to put here. Because you've probably already been starting some seeds. You have some seedlings inside growing, or you've been looking around and you have your eye on some transplants. Like, this is a good time to kind of compare your plan to what that garden space really looks and feels like. I just added
a garden bed to mine. And then I also had to replace 2 of my garden beds. And now's the time to do it. You know what I mean? I have stuff growing, but like, I mean, if something happened to it, like whatever, it's not really that big a deal because there's not enough of it growing right now. So it just made sense to go ahead and get out there and do those replacements. And then now that I have that done, then I can get on to the next thing, and then the shed and so on and so forth. And then you it's like I use bamboo stakes to hold up all my tomatoes and stuff like that. Not tomatoes, everything but my tomatoes. I don't use those for that. But I pull them out of the ground and I set them out and let them dry. So they don't just rot. And
yeah, but back to the repairs. This is a good time for those that are in the colder climates because you've had one more winter. Right, that has, your garden's been living in. So take a closer look at some of those garden beds and, some of the things that you may have left outside instead of putting them in, some protected area. Let's make sure that that stuff is in good condition. Or as you mentioned, if not, let's start talking about a plan to replace it. Or, God forbid, revising your garden plan because you aren't in a position to replace it. So, kind of worst case scenario.
I mean, even if my beds, they were all rotten, but if I couldn't have done it, I would have still planted there. They would have just fallen apart. But, all it is just holding the soil in place. So, I couldn't sit on the edge of the bed or anything, but, your garden tools, like I always have a shovel or a pitchfork or something out, like always. So that's a good thing to like replace it. Like you said, if you need to, make that plan, and if nothing else, maybe if you're tight on some ching, you can save your money so you can replace it, get a better version or something, I like to spend this time too as part of the cleanup is surveying what has made it thus far through the winter. Because most of the time you're at the tail end of winter at this point. So, if not spring. Yeah. So it's, things that have made it through the winter, they're going to make it, generally speaking. So, and things that aren't, you can say, hey, I need to replace it, or maybe you don't even know where your bulbs were, where you put them in the fall, if you're like me. So.
Yeah. I think, this is the time because we keep on saying we're close, but we are, just last week we were close. This
every
week we're
getting closer and closer.
Right? So
it is.
Oh, it's so exciting.
It is.
So exciting.
I'm pumped, man. I'm excited for it. I don't get excited about cleaning up, but I love it when I'm done and I say, good. After I get my shed clean, I can walk in there and be like, hell yeah.
Yeah. But if you start now, it's a good chance to pace yourself too, So if it isn't one of your favorite garden tasks, you don't have to do it all at once. I wouldn't spread it out too much because, who in the heck wants to be cleaning the garden up for months, but it gives you a chance to kind of pace yourself, which I think is always
my
nice.
typical thing, because, I save all of my old pots. Like if I buy a plant or something, I always save those. So I'll go through and get rid of that. And it's like all the leaf litter and stuff that's left over from fall. Now is the time when I'll start pulling it back and getting stuff. Because it's now in my area, it's starting to get warm. We're starting to get warmer days now. So, but it'll still get cold too. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I think litter is a good note that the things other than kind of garden debris that you should be cleaning too if it's there. This probably won't be the last time. I'm in the middle of a big city, so I get a lot of litter that comes back and forth past my yard. So I'll do the cursory, kind of that first initial cleaning because you're going to start being outside a little bit more and no one wants to look at that crap. Let's just be realistic,
And I also want, I don't want to be doing this when it's time to plant. And it's like full on, because, spring gets hectic quick. And it's like, I don't want to be messing around with this because I'm going to go ahead and tell you whatever happens between now and spring is whatever is going to happen when it comes to this. I'm not going to generally take a day in the summertime and be like, you know what? Today is a day where I'm going to go do a massive cleaning. No, today is the day where I'm going to water my plants and, do what I need to do. So just get ahead of it.
Yeah, I agree there. I do. Yeah, I think that, and this is not quite the prep, but this is like the step before it, right? This puts you in a position again to assess, to, start making a different kind of list, perhaps. Because, I love a good list. And you're getting readier.
Do you like putting a list in that new notebook you have right there?
What new notebook do you speak of? So pretty.
Just hang it up on the walls. Put a frame on it.
I'm telling you, man. Hold on. For those that are only listening,
it's a
that's
real
me tapping
one.
on the notebook.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not a rocket science thing, but it is important to get out and clean up and, start surveying and take time. So, but stay warm when you do it. All right.
Hey,
What's
you know
that?
what you could also do? Turn on an episode of the Backyard
Damn
Gardens
right.
podcast.
You can go through all of our old minisodes or all of our new episodes. Oh, there it is.
So many options. So little time.
So many options. All right, everybody. Be safe. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Clean your garden. Put your jacket on. Zip it up. Stay warm. And until next time.
See ya.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you want to see what we're up to or just stay up to date on all the announcements regarding the show or anything gardening, then you can follow us on Instagram at Backyard Gardens TV.
We love seeing what you guys are doing, so use hashtag BYG podcast in your posts, and we'll be sharing your gardens with the Backyard Gardens community.
And check us out on YouTube at Backyard Gardens, where we will post this show, all of our other shows, clips, and then also some gardening tips and just gardening entertainment. And you can see us at our website at backyardgardenstv.com. But that's it for today's show. So help us as we learn to grow and grow for change. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later. We'll call this one a wrap.
Now you know why people feel like celebrating at harvest time.
All over the world, people have feasting and good times when the crops have been gathered in.